Hello gamers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night wherever in the world you are. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, we're going to talk about Mr. Galarian Perrserker V over here. Now, I did promise that I would show you guys a Pokemon here that is better than Tinkaton EX, and a duck that will function better than Tinkaton EX. And I truly do stand by that statement. But I did lead you guys on a little bit, in the sense that this card is not standard legal. This card is an F-block card, unfortunately. But you can make a really, really hype expanded deck with this, which is exactly what I did right here. This slaps for expanded. Like, don't get me wrong, this is like a bonkers combo. I wouldn't say this is like a top tier deck, but I would say this is probably like a tier 2 or tier 3 deck in expanded, which says a lot. It's definitely better than other decks I've showcased on here, like the Guillotine, the Espeon Giratina combo, and the Charizard and Inteleon deck, for example. Yeah, those decks were kind of terrible. But this deck is actually, in my opinion, pretty good. So I should probably explain to you guys what this Perrserker does. So let's do that. This deck has 2 copies of Galarian Perrserker V, even though Perrserker is only Galarian. Whatever. As you can see, I made proxies for this because I don't own this card, but I hope you guys don't mind. Anyway, this is a basic metal Pokemon with 200 HP and 2 retreat costs. The reason I think this is better than Tinkaton EX is because its attack is cheaper, and it's a basic Pokemon rather than a stage 2. Even though the attack does less damage, I do believe this is a more versatile card, especially in a deck that I've crafted for this. I shouldn't say I've crafted, because this archetype is already out there, this archetype does exist already. It's just that I tuned it to my personal playstyle. I changed, like, I want to say like 6 cards maximum from this list. What I personally believe is like a nice fit for me to try out. Why are my sleeves so goddamn dirty? Not that it matters. Anyway, Perrserker has 2 attacks. The first one is whatever, it's feeling fine. For 1 colorless you draw 3 cards. That's whatever. It's a second attack though. For 1 metal and 1 colorless you have Treasure Rush. That attack does 20 damage for each card in your hands. So similar to Tinkaton EX, you want your hand to be built up as largely as possible in order to then be able to swing big. You can KO Regidrago V with 11 cards in hand. You can KO Regidrago V-Star with 14 cards in hand. Those are like the 2 most relevant ones. There's some VMAXs you can KO with like 15 cards in hand. Probably. And the nice thing is, the reason I'm running 2 of these only, because we don't even have to attack with this guy specifically. Because it's a basic Pokemon, we can use Mew from, I think this is, not entirely sure what expansion this Mew is from. Anyway, Mew has the attack Encounter, which searches your deck for a Pokemon for 1 colorless and puts it in your hand. That's like kind of mid, but the ability is Memories of Dawn. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your basic Pokemon in play. You still need the necessary energy to use each attack, but this is a single price 50 HP Pokemon. Which is like not terrible, as one might think. Especially because Psychic type Pokemon are really easy to attack with if you have a Dimension Valley in play. So far all the cards I've shown are cards I don't own, which is crazy. But that will change, don't worry. It's not like I proxied the entire freaking deck. Anyway, 4 copies of Dimension Valley, because Dimension Valley is a stadium that reads each Psychic Pokemon's attacks cost 1 colorless energy less, which means that Mew can copy Treasure Rush for only 1 metal energy. And that's honestly the spot where we want to be at. Because 1 metal energy is exactly where it's at. To be fair, I do run 6 metal energy in this deck. I feel like I should be upfront with that now. I think 6 is probably fine. Especially with the amount of recovery we're running specifically. I think 6 Metal Energy is probably a sweet spot. Maybe you could justify going down to 5, but then your prize like several, you might be a little cooked. Anyway, this is the general combo. And now is your question maybe, okay, how do we get so many gosh darn cards in our hands? And I'll show you all the cards that add cards to your hands very efficiently. Because we're mostly gonna abuse one of my favorite cards and expand it for this. Exeggcute from Plasma Freeze, which with the ability Propagation. Once during your turn, before your attack, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put this Pokemon into your hand. Only a silly little 30 HP Pokemon, but we're not gonna play this one. This one's just gonna stick in hand and in discard pile. We have lots of search cards in this deck that discard cards from our hands, but if we discard Exeggcute, we can always get it back later, so we can play our search cards without actually going negative in our resources. Really, really nice. Plus, we have even more cards that we could potentially discard for our search that allow us to not go negative eventually. If we have at least 2 Exeggcutes in play, we can consider using Grant's effect, secondary effect. If Grant's in your discard pile, you may discard 2 cards, except any Grant from your hand. And if you do, put Grant into your hand. Sleep is kind of fucked. Is it fucked or? It's a little fucked, but I think it's fine. So we run 4 copies of Grant. So for example, if there's a Grant in our discard pile that we had to discard for like the purposes of ball or whatever, we can get to Exeggcute from our discard pile, back, use Grant's effect to get the Grant back to our hand and discard the Exeggcutes, and then we can get the Exeggcutes back again. It's just a free card that we can add to our hand if we have 2 Exeggcutes in discard, which is really, really nice to keep ourselves at a consistently high hand size total, even if we're like Ionode or End or something. And now for the search cards, we run 4 copies of Quick Ball, an item card that discards another card from our hands, in order to search our deck for a basic Pokemon and put it into our hands. And we have 2 copies of Ultra Ball, which there's no evolutions in this deck, but I figured this would be like the next best thing, because I wanted a little more than just 4 Quick Ball. We have our A-Spec Computer Search, which discards 2 cards from our hand in order to search our deck for any cards. Really, really nice, especially with Exeggcutes or Grants. And of course, with a deck like this, we also want to run 4 copies of Battle Compressor, an item card that searches our deck for 3 items, or 3 cards, sorry, and discards them. So we can choose to discard Exeggcute or Grants or other things from our deck, and we can get them back very, very easily. The main draw engine that this deck is going to be using is going to be very specific supporters. First off, 4 Roxies. Roxie is a supporter that allows us to discard up to 2 Pokemon that are not GX or capital EX Pokemon from our hand, and then draw 3 for each card we discard this way. Like I said, if we discard 2 Exeggcutes, we're basically going +5, because you lose a Roxie, but you go to get 6 cards, and the Exeggcutes are never lost because you can always recover them. Really, really solid supporter for this list specifically. Hello Ben, welcome in. Also hello Strategic, welcome in as well. Expanded time baby, hell yeah. I'm doing pretty well. Hello Sam, welcome. Is this very loud, or is it? No, it's just about as loud as the music. It could be a little bit quieter, but that's okay. I'll probably tweet that after stream. That's okay. But I appreciate the lurk, Sam. I hope everyone's doing well, by the way. On top of Roxie, we also have Psychic Third Eye. You've probably never seen this card before. Anyway, Psychic Third Eye is a supporter that says that reveals your opponent's hands, and then something entered my throat, and I don't know what it was. Anyway, Psychic Third Eye reveals your opponent's hand, and then you're allowed to discard as many cards as you like from your hand and then draw that many cards. Essentially what the V-Star power is on Rotom V-Star. But of course, if we're deciding to discard 4 Grant for Exeggcute with this, we're essentially not losing any cards from discard, so it could be a potential +8 if we have facilities for all those 4. TCG Live's getting updated, you've seen that card? Oh, nice. I saw the update. Usually it is a Tuesday that they update. And we got some more cards that will help us draw cards. For example, in the early game, Squawkabilly X is going to help us see a few more cards. In case you've never seen this card, the only thing that matters on this is the ability. Once during your first turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. And you only use 1 Squawk and Seize per turn, but we only have 1 in the deck, so we're fine. And then we have both Oricorio-GX and Fezandipiti X. They have the same ability. Once during your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards, but you can only use 1 of Flip the Script and 1 Dance of Tribute per turn. Once again, these are practically the same Pokemon, like type and HP are slightly different, and so are the weakness and resistance and attacks, but honestly, who cares? This is just a free +6 after a Mew has been taken out or a Berserker or whatever. And the +6 in hand size can be very, very useful for this deck specifically. Yo, you can Mew for free, Holy Sugar, Honey Iced Tea. Send me the list. You cannot Mew for free. Because Treasure Rush costs 1 metal and 1 colorless. So if you want to use Treasure Rush, you have to attach 1 metal energy. But you can use Encounter for free. Not that I don't think I'm gonna use that attack even once in this. Gonna be honest. Maybe if I'm bricking, but yeah. Funny thing about Mew is that you can also technically copy attacks from these other Pokemon. Like you can copy Cruel Arrow. You need a lot of energy on it. But you can also, of course, copy Motivate, which might be relevant in the late game scenario. Oh, you looked at Encounter. Yeah, no, that's fair. Encounter just searches your deck for a Pokemon and puts it in your hand. It's like not... I'm not done with the thing, but you can definitely screenshot, don't worry. You've never seen the Oricorio before? To be fair, I must say, the Oricorio definitely saw a lot of play, but I don't think it saw as much play as Fezandipiti is now when this was in Standard. Because this was from, I think, Guardians Rising, if I'm correct, or maybe Burning Shadows. But it's essentially like practically the same card, just a little less HP, same retreat costs, different attacks, but different type, but like same prizes, same general ability that you're using it for. Oh, this was Cosmic Eclipse. I'm really bad at Sun and Moon expansions, my bad. I'm so sorry. Oricorio is your G. Okay, let's continue. Of course, since we want to be able to always play Roxie or Psychic Sturdy on any given turn, we run 4 VS Seeker. This might be a little overkill, but I wanted more consistency, and like dead cards in hand are actually not a bad thing for this deck, because every dead card in your hand still gives you more damage on your Treasure Rush. For anyone that doesn't know, VS Seeker is an item card that puts a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So it's like half a pal pad, but it goes to hand instead of deck. Extremely powerful card. If you ever see me use VS Seeker on Grant, please let me know. Because that's a crime that I should never do. Anyway, in case we need more than 4 Mews, or one of our Berserkers is priced, or anything crazy happens along those lines, we run 2 copies of Night Stretcher as our recovery for Pokemon. Just because it's the most efficient for us in this purpose. And also we run 1 copy of Metal Saucer in case we want to close out the game with a Galarian Perrserker attack. If we have exhausted all of our recovery options, for example, with Mew, we can still go for a Metal Saucer plus attachment for turn to still be able to attach attack with Treasure Rush from 0 energy attached. I'm noticing there's a decent bit of a glare on this. I think this is better. There is glare as well here, but I think that's, yeah. Lamp here. Turn the lamp away slightly. This yes, I think this is actually the most visible this has been. Yeah. Okay, cool. Question, when am I playing with max players? How long are you? Oh, so Ben, this is not for Commander. This is for single player expanded format. But last weekend, on Saturday, we played a Commander game with 4 players. And it took about, I want to say 3 hours. But that's mostly because 3 of us were playing on Untapped.in, which is a website that's like slightly slow. I'm noticing that when you're playing with proxies on webcam, you're definitely going to be able to do your turns slightly faster. Because you can shuffle during your opponent's turns, for example. You don't have to like do every minute detail. You can go flick through your discard pile very fast. You need to order this mat? You definitely should. It's a really good mat. So I would say if all 4 players are doing webcam with proxy, I would say it's probably... It was a very long game because there were 2 control players. So I would say that game would probably have taken 2.5 hours if it were all webcam. But I think if there's only 1 control player or no control players whatsoever, I think the game could easily still like be like 2 hours. It's a good mat. You played in this tour, yeah. You're literally on the mat. I'm not exactly sure where because the cards are on top, but yeah. There's all sorts of Pokemon soundtracks on here, but Aura's is definitely one of them. It's a good mix of just relaxed music from Pokemon. You're next to my logo? That's crazy. Wait, I don't even know where I am on this mat. I'll check after. In Spanish, Marnie is named Roxie, so for a second you were thinking, why is he playing Marnie in this game? No, that's very fair, that's very fair. You're in the bowl. Okay, I'll take a look after, because the bowl is already partially covered and I don't see it right now. Anyway, Perrserker does have 2 retreat costs, and Mew's retreat cost is also free actually. But for example, if we get things stuck in the active or if we want to gust, we run 2 copies of Guzma. Guzma is basically Prime Catcher on a supporter. And then 2 copies of Float Stone, which makes the retreat cost 0 of the Pokemon it's attached to. Just general good stuff. I don't think this is surprising to anyone that these cards are in deck. Maybe the counts are a little surprising, but I don't give a shit. For Commander, the deck size is 100, including your Commander. Hello Ishiro, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Since this deck gets like severely fucked over by Chaotic Swell in expanded format, and Chaotic Swell is decently popular in things like Quad Iron Torrents and Lugia, I have decided to put in 2 Field Blower into this deck. Field Blower is an item card that allows you to discard up to 2 tools or stadium in play. As you can see, I have 1 real one and 1 fake one. I'm poor, I know. Don't come for me. And then we have 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball in order to look at our face down prize cards and swap this card with a basic Pokemon we find there in case we prize like... To be fair, all the Pokemon in this deck are basic Pokemon, so this will always grab like a Pokemon we need, if there is one in there. Now the second last card in the deck is Forest Seal Stone. We do run Pokemon V, so Forest Seal Stone is a no-brainer to include as our V-Star power. This allows us to search our deck for a card. If it's allowed to a Pokemon V, we can pop that V-Star power whenever we want. And last but not least, this is like the most generational tech card of this deck. It's Lillie's Clefairy EX. Now I know what you're saying, Lillie's Clefairy cannot attack, we don't have Psychic Energy, but Lillie's Clefairy makes the Regidrago matchup actually so free. Allowing to hit for weakness into Regidrago means that we only need like 6 cards in hand to one-shot a Regidrago V with Mew, and we only need 7 cards in hand to one-shot a Regidrago V-Star Mew. It's not even 6 for the... Hold on. What am I saying? No, it is 6 because it's 220. So 220 I would need to hit for 110 before weakness, which is indeed 6 cards because 6 times 20. Yeah. Ah yes, Regidrago. Fuck you, Clefairy. Yeah. Yeah, Clefairy is here to make the Regidrago matchup very playable rather than kind of even. It's very nice. It kind of sucks. Like the Regidrago matchup still kind of sucks in the sense that Mew is a 50 HP Pokemon, so Dragapult pinks are still very annoying. And of course the fact that Perrserker is actually exactly 200 HP. So adding Clefairy makes the matchup still playable, even though it's also a 190 HP Pokemon. You can screenshot right now. I will probably shove these out a little bit better so you can take a better screenshot. Is every card like clearly visible? I hope so. I'll actually move this one down to make it slightly better visible so that the Squawk and the Fez have a little more room. There you go. Alright, did you get your screenshot? Oh, I'm noticing that the camera has a skew a little bit as well. I can fix that now. You got it. Better? Let's see. I think this is better. Yeah, the camera is less askew now, I think. Okay. Anyway, let's go shuffle this up and play a few practice games. I now see you and me. Look, this is me right here, and then this is you. Very epic. Very, very epic. Anyway, let's go ahead and shuffle up. And also, strategic, if you ever are joining in like the middle of stream and you want a screenshot or whatever, the deck list is also in the YouTube stream description. So if you join the YouTube stream, you can see the deck list right there in the description. Best buds meant to be. Hell yeah. Where are Shifu and Cherry on this, actually? Cherry is also here, so she's very close. And Shifu's right here. He's a little bit of a dark horse outsider. But hey, I mean, he won the first Commander match ever, so shout out to him. Okay, you suggest something for Commander? Yeah, for sure. Go for it. Suggest in the sense as like a deck that I should try out, or anything organizational wise. I have no idea what exactly you're planning on suggesting, but I'm down for every feedback on Earth possible. If I'm gonna do something with it is a different question, but shoot the feedback. I'm very curious to hear what your opinion is, or what you're gonna suggest. Man, why am I so bad at shuffling? It's cringe, honestly. This is why I want to do more webcam things, so I can be more absent-minded with shuffling. In your playtesting with Pokemon Aces format, you found that you can play a game with 4 players in 45 minutes to an hour, and half an hour when our decks are 80 cards. That's crazy. To be fair, it makes sense, because the format that you made is a lot more fast-paced. Because your Pokemon Aces can do so much more than just be played and do their stuff. It makes sense that your format is more fast-paced, but I specifically went for a more slower-paced format. That was a deliberate decision, because I figured that every format was already fairly fast-paced currently. Copy the list and send to your notes? Hell yeah. Yeah, so if you want to play this in TCG Live, you can't really, because Memories of Dawn Mew is, I think, a Gen 6 card, so that's kind of sucks. So is Battle Compressor, so is Psychic Third Eye. But I think most of the other cards are... Well, VS Seeker is, of course. But I think most of the other cards... Well, Computer Search as well. Actually, there's so many... Dimension Valley as well is a Gen 5 cards. Holy shit, yeah, there's so many cards that are like not legal in TCG Live. I'm so sorry. I mean, you could technically still make this work with like Marshadow GX, but even then, you're just using a lesser power. Well, you could do Marshadow GX with like Premium Power Pro, but that's probably worse. Have to copy and paste an expanded list into TCG Live. You can't play. I'll just spend my time looking at the nice cards. I want to cry with you. I definitely want to cry with you. Hold on. I'm gonna get out my ability markers and my dice. Where's my poison marker? Oh, it's just buried underneath other things. Now let's get my V-Star and GX marker. I actually can't use my GX attack for this deck because the only GX attack in there is one from Oricorio-GX, but I don't have Psychic Energy in the deck, so it's impossible to use. Let's go grab a die so we can do some coin flips. Okay, well, let's say that Heads is going first and Tails is going second against Regidrago, for example. So we're going first against Regidrago. Interesting predicament for sure. Community forums from TCG Live Dev put a post saying, what do the player base want to see on TCG Live in 2026? 90% of comments said black and white to X and Y cards implemented and expanded. Holy shit! Okay, I really hope they're gonna do it soon then. If actually, I didn't realize that much of the player base wanted that. That's crazy. I would have guessed that most of the player base wanted, like, improved functioning of the game. That was my guess, but I guess that probably not. And having the deck size 80 is good for creativity because you can't just have all the consistency cards and disruption. That is your opinion. Yeah, true. But Aces is not an eternal format, right? It's expanded format, technically, which is black and white on, I think, from what I read on your site. For POKÉ-COMMANDER, it's eternal format, so the entire card base is legal. So yes, you can fit more staples, but the thing is, you're tempted to use more, you have access to a lot more powerful cards. So you do, it's still, like, very hard to make a deck of just 100 cards. Because there's so many powerful cards in the entirety of the Pokemon TCG, it's hard to decide sometimes. And I understand the decision for black and white on because more people are familiar with expanded than with eternal. But if I wanted it to be as true to like the vibes of Magic the Gathering Commander as possible, and they also have an eternal format, so yeah. We love expanded. But do we love Eternal? Strategic, I think you would love Eternal as well. Because Eternal is just Expanded Plus, actually. It's actually so much cooler than Expanded, actually. Because there's no Regidrago, there's no Dragapult, there's no Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. It's such a good format. There's no Lugia V-Star. Anyway, let's take a look at the opening 7. Starting Mew is definitely not bad, but if we're going first, I mean, I don't want to start Squawk, that's for sure. Starting Squawk is horrendous. Especially against Drago. Alright. The way you see Commanders, unlimited plus ban list plus MTG style, Monopoly style 4-player modes. Hell yeah. Yeah, Commander is definitely, like, Eternal, but fun. I'm not saying that Eternal is not fun, by the way. Holy shit. No, Eternal is fun, but I do enjoy POKÉ-COMMANDER more because you're more restricted in your deck building, for sure. It's cool that you've gone for that. Yeah, I'm glad both exist, is more or less the point that I wanted to get to. I'm glad both exist. I still feel like it's a little too dark. Might be better. Anyway, let's flip that card and draw for turn. We were going first, I did say. His hand is a little awkward because there's like no Exeggcute. No Squawkabilly. Or sorry, there's like no Exeggcute, no Grant to discard. I think Quick Ball Metal Energy is correct here. Just a deck check. I do want to check my prizes like this because deck checking through that is not fun. Okay, I prized both my Guzma. That's amazing. What basic Pokemon do I want to grab? Is it Perrserker that I want to grab here? I do have Squawk in hand. I think it is Perrserker that I want to grab here. Because I have Metal Saucer plus Squawk in my hand, and I do want to abuse that. Problem with Eternal is that the game prior to Black and White is too different. Or was too different. There's so many weird interactions with old cards like Poképowers and Pokébodies. I don't think the interactions are too weird, in my opinion. Maybe it's because I've become more accustomed with them. But the interactions between Poképowers and Pokébodies are fairly intuitive. There's only like very niche scenarios where they're not intuitive, but I would say that that's also the case for modern Pokemon, that there are some interactions that are not intuitive. Like for example, if you use LGM Slide Shift on a bench, like to move energy towards a bench Pokemon that's protected by Rapska's Spherical Shield, the energy will be discarded. That's not an interaction that's very normal, which is definitely an interaction that can happen, by the way. In case you didn't know that one. Anyway, I don't think there's too many weird. I don't think there's like any weird interaction happens at all during a stream game actually as well. Not even during one of my playtest games, just in personal. I don't think we've encountered any like weird interaction specifically. Okay, let's use Metal Saucer to attach this Metal Energy to the Perrserker, just so that this, because I'd rather use it than discard it. We do run 4 Dimension Valley. I think it's still better to play this rather than to not play this. It is turn 1 going first, so bench Squawkabilly and use Squawk and Cease to draw 6 cards. Okay. This is an interesting bunch, that's for sure. Let's see. Memories of Dawn mean the Perrserker has to be in play, or just in discard pile, or both. So, Memories of Dawn only allows Mew to use attacks from any of your basic Pokemon in play, so not discard pile. So in that case, it's not the same as Mew and Mewtwo GX attack team. They have to be in play, specifically. You now just need to start your channel on Pokemon Aces. I don't think we will be competing though, because our formats are very... Oh yeah, they're like extremely different. Yeah. But it's only in play, yeah. I would say go for it for sure. Let's see, we already discarded 1 Psychic Stirred Eye, so I think it's probably correct to... Well, thing is, Dragapult doesn't play... Dragapult decks don't play any stadiums that are disrupted to this deck specifically. Like, yes, they play Temple of Sinnoh occasionally, and they play Tropical Beach occasionally, but they don't play Chaotic Swell. So I think I can quick ball the Field Blower to get like what's smart to do here? Probably Exeggcute, if I'm gonna be honest. Maybe Fezandipiti. Maybe I should have just held this quick ball. I think holding this quick ball was better. But we're past that point already. I think I'll just grab Fezandipiti and then not bench it. Although we have Roxie in hand. I think it's better to grab Exeggcute. You're so back, you scheduled an audio video. Yes, let's go. Yes, sir! Hell yeah, I love everyone popping off. I've been struggling a bit to actually make content besides the 2 live streams per week that I want to maintain. Because my new education is... Well, it's not killing me, but... Yeah, look at you go. Hell yeah. It's not that my new education is killing me, but it's more like... It leaves me with very little free time. It leaves me with barely enough that I can do my hobbies and do plenty of preparations for my 2 streams a week. And that might change, because me and my good friends are going to do like a 4-man challenge soon, like every Tuesday. So the expanded videos will, or the expanded streams will disappear for that bit. But that does mean that I have less prep time, or I have less prep time to give to those Tuesday streams, which means maybe I can either like do more with the Saturday expanded, with the Saturday Commander games, or I could do more with videos potentially. Control related expanded beta. Is it the Orange Grove video? Anyway, Yeah, I have to pass here with the Mewtwo inactive. Mew inactive, not Mewtwo. So, worst case scenario, they probably have a Wally play. Let's assume they don't have a Wally play and they just like Dragon Laser active, which is very valid. It is Dragon Laser active. I would need to find Float Stone in order, or well, okay. So both my Guzmas are priced, so would need to find a Float Stone at some point in order to make this less awkward. So maybe it's actually time that we attack with Galarian Perrserker V. Draw for turn. We do find a Metal Energy again. Think might have to use Psychic Spurt Eye. I should have went for Fez, man. Should have gone for Fez. Like drawing 3 off Roxie feels really bad, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play Psychic Spurt Eye, discarding Roxie, Metal, Exeggcute, and then draw 3 cards. Draw Grant, Metal, via Seeker. Okay, we're officially bricking, actually. This is a really bad brick. Let's attach Metal Energy to Galarian Perrserker V. This is why I said I should have grabbed the Fezandipiti, not the Exeggcute. Playing that quick ball early was a death sentence. Yeah, boy. Gonna be so unfair. Ha, get it, unfair GX? Yeah, I do get it. You have to go eat. It depends, but I like started 45 minutes ago, and I usually go for like at least 3 hours, 2.5. So I'm pretty sure if you come back right after dinner, I'll still be here. This is a 4-card hand, by the way. This is really cringe. I could Treasure Harush for 80 damage on active. Let's keep track of it with this. And that means we only need to hit for 200 next turn. But going into our turn, they're definitely going to go for a Dragapult attack. By the way. So that means Berserker goes down. Yeah, this is looking very grim because I'm misplayed. That's why. Like, I'm not a god, of course. Yes, enjoy dinner. Okay, Battle Compressor is a good card. Battle Compressor allows us to discard Exeggcute, Grant, and Grant. We already have an Exeggcute in this card. This is more than enough. Shuffle. Shuffle. Pardon me, sorry. Alright. So these cards are all discarded. And now we can do a cool combo, being that we can use Propagation twice to cover our Exeggcutes. And then we can use the Grant effect to discard 2 cards from our hand to put Grant back into our hand. Then we can use Propagation twice to get them back, and discard them to get Grant back in hand. And then we can use Propagation to get them back. It's a really cool combo, isn't it? This is how you maintain your hand size. I don't think there's another Grant in this card, right? No, there isn't. So now is the time to use Roxie. We can use Roxie to discard 2 Exeggcutes and draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can use Propagation to... We actually want to Exeggcute back? I'm not sure yet. Heavy Ball grabs an Exeggcute from prizes. I guess I will do that now. Because I will have to, probably. Let's Night Stretcher back Mew. And there's Mew. think I had a Metal Energy in hand. Yeah, I did. Fortunately, I still don't have a retreat for this. Bench Galarian Perrserker V. Yeah, this game is just cursed right now, but that's okay. Just have to take it a little easier. It's probably better to attach here actually, and then use Motivate for 20. I have to attach 2 to one of my bench Pokemon. But I have only one Night Stretcher in deck, so left, so it's fine to do here. And I already burned Metal Saucer, so it's fine. It was actually definitely incorrect to go for Mew here. I just realized. Because they can just grab 3 prizes for like this with a Dragapult attack. That's okay. Like I said, I'm not a perfect human being. I make misplays. That was a really bad one, but to be fair, the luck didn't help us. We saw like, what is it, 1 Quick Ball, 0 Ultra Balls, only 1 Battle Compressor. We like to see a little more than that, ideally. Ideally, we'd like to see a Battle Compressor in our opening hand, so we can go get 2 Exeggcute and a Grant off that. So that means that we can always use our Exeggcutes for Quick Balls or Ultra Balls or Psychic Spurt Eye or Roxie. Which is the game plan. Alright, let's toss the die one more time. Once again, heads, so we are going first against Regidrago, which is terrible actually. I want to go second. I want to go second against Drago, but I mean, game's the game. Okay, let's see what our opening hand brings us here. This is a good opening hand. Maybe. Really depends on pricing. 2 Fiesta card opening hand is not great, actually. That's why I run 4. So that we have more redundancy. Flip it over and draw a card. Ah, Night Stretcher as well. Yikes. Let's pop the Hisuian Heavy Ball first so we can take a look at their prizes. Okay, we priced 2 Mews. We also priced 2 Quick Balls, which is really bad. At least we got 1 Mew off the price. Do I want to bench that right now? Probably not. I think better to Ultra Ball away. Exeggcute and Reverse Seeker, so we can get a Perrserker in here. I think that's better. So we can attach that for a Seal Stone. I'm not shuffling, actually. Bench this. Bench the Mew. For a Seal Stone. Then we use for a Seal Stone to get Battle Compressor. We play Battle Compressor to discard Exeggcute, Grant, and Metal Energy. There we go. Actually, do I want to discard Metal Energy? I think it's better if I get Fez off this. Yeah. It's better to get Fez off Battle Compressor, because I have Night Stretcher in hand, so... Yo, Tinkaton, let's go! Except it's not Tinkaton, it's Perrserker! Hello, Gesture, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. But Perrserker is better than Tinkaton, unironically. It's a lot better. I did say discard is better than Tinkaton in the title. Okay, so Battle Compressor discards these 3 cards, and the reason I chose Fezandipiti is so I can Night Stretcher the Fezandipiti to my hand and put that on the bench for safekeeping. Now, Let's rip that Squawkabilly, discard that Versus Seeker from our hand, and draw 6 cards. One more. Okay. We do get a Metal Energy. I'm not sure if I want to attach anything yet, because they definitely could go for big turn 1 place, but what I can do is I can recover Exeggcute to my hands with the propagation ability. So I can use Quick Ball, discarding Exeggcute. Don't really need another Exeggcute. I think it's best to grab another Mew here. Man, if I went second in this game would have been so much better. Unironically. So much better. Why not Indeedee? What Indeedee are we talking about? I'm not quite sure which cards you mean specifically. Sure, let's bench the Mew. Attach a Metal Energy. Let's recover both our Exeggcutes with propagation. 1, 2. We can pop off really hard by using Computer Search here as our A-spec. Do we want Battle Compressor off the Computer Search or something else? I'm not really in a hurry to grab anything other than maybe Float Stone, so let's grab Float Stone. I guess I don't have to show what I'm grabbing, but yeah, but I have no idea what Indeedee specifically you mean or what it does or whatever. So I would appreciate some clarity on that side. Okay, big shuffle, big shuffle. Exeggcutes go to discard with Computer Search. Float Stone. I'm not that scared of Dragon Laser, but Dragon Laser into Phantom Dive is a little scary. So what I will do is I'll retreat into Single Prizer Mew. And then I'll pass. It was turn 1 going first. So let's assume that they Dragon Laser my Mew. But they go to 5 prizes left. Push my Squawkabilly just because it has Float Stone. Just draw for turn. And let's think. We definitely want to flip the script to draw 3 cards. Oh, nice. We found Dimension Valley. That's a big one. We also found another Battle Compressor. Let's see, what do we want to discard off the Battle Compressor? Indeedee hand Kinesis 10 times per each card in your hand. Isn't that just worse than Galarian Perrserker V? Because that does 20 for each card in your hand. Okay. What are we gonna compress? Exeggcute, Grant. That feels alright. There we go. I mean, I'm assuming that attack is like a 1 energy attack, whereas this is 2. But we don't need to use 2 energy for this attack. All we need is 1 Metal Energy and Dimension Valley, and we're good to go. Okay, I don't think there's a Metal Energy in my discard for a Metal Saucer. Also not played a supporter for turn yet, but it's also fine. Yeah, it's probably fine to hold that Metal Saucer. So let's use propagation to recover my Exeggcutes. There we go. Let's use Grant's effect to discard 2 Exeggcutes to put it into my hand. Let's use Grant's effect to discard 2 Exeggcutes to put it into my hand. Let's use propagation on all 4. There's another Grant in my discard pile, right? Yeah. This Grant, discard 2 Exeggcutes, propagation twice. Now my hand is suddenly stacked. Whoa! I just randomly added 6 cards to my hand without doing anything. How crazy is that? Yeah, this combo is a little silly. So what I can do now is I can retreat into the Mew. How many cards does my hand have? 4, 8, 11. So I do 220 to the Regidrago V inactive. Yeah, that's actually exactly enough to KO. That's great. Let's go for it. Swing with Treasure Rush for the KO. We grab 2 random prizes, so I will shuffle my prizes. We get these 2 prizes. Unfortunately, the Mew is still prized. I get Grant Quick Ball, which is like not the worst thing in the world. Getting the Grant off the discard of the prize is actually quite nice. And now the question is, what will the Regidrago player do from here? What will the Regidrago player do from here? I think their best bet is probably going for a Gust KO and then do the thing. With do the thing, I mean Phantom Dive for 3 prizes. Yeah. That is likely their best shots. Which means they have 10 damage left to spread. And that's very likely going here. Let's be real. Let's draw a card for turn. We get Guzma, that's very nice. Let's Quick Ball away a Grant. Search our deck for a Mew, or... Yeah, because I have the... Wait, do I not have a Mew in deck anymore? Am I tripping? Oh, yeah, I was tripping. I just won't have that card specifically. There we go, bench Mew. Use Grant's effect. Then pull them back. Bench Perrserker. Attach to Mew. Metal Saucer. To get the metal also to here. Are there any other Metal Energy card? No, but I don't need to. Do we assume that the Dimension Valley was... Do we do? Let's go for flip the scripts. 1, 2, 3. Nice, we got Roxie. Really good. Let's play Roxie, discarding 2 executes to draw 6 cards. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's propagation these back to our hands. Let's Quick Ball for Oricorio-GX. Definitely have enough cards in hand to just straight up KO the silly Regidrago V-Star. So there's no need to grab Lillie's Clefairy here. I think Night Stretcher is necessary for next turn to grab a cool thing. Okay, use propagation to get this back to hand. Bench Oricorio, use Dance of Tribute to draw 3. Yeah, it's called Dance of Tribute. A lot of cards in my hands. I played a supporter for turn already, so no Guzma, but I don't need that. I mean, yeah. Treat. And then attack with Treasure Rush for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 20 times 20 is 400 damage into Regidrago for 2 prizes. And a nice thing about this play is that I just killed 2 Regidragos back to back. So it's impossible for them to have another one charged up with Gusting last turn. So, what that means is that the best thing they can do is bump my stadium. Well, let me check. My discard pile is like... yeah, the best thing they can do is bump my stadium and KO active. I'll push Squawkabilly again. They're on 1 price. Because if they want to attack this turn, they have to Raihan, which means they can't Gust. Okay, now we can Battle Compressor. I don't know if this is a smart idea to do, but I would need to draw a Dimension Valley. I'm gonna need to delete some cards from my deck that don't do anything anymore. Like Guzma. There's a Regidrago inactive, so we can just use that for the future. I think I can draw my whole deck anyway here. If I just bench Mew, attach Metal Energy, Shriek to Mew. Still need Dimension Valley, but I can use Densive Tributes to draw 1, 2, 3. And I can still flip the scripts for 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's still 1 card in my deck, which is the other Dimension Valley. But I drew 2 of these, so I could have technically kept Guzma in there and just discard Roxie, but I have Guzma here in case I need to gust something up. This is a lot of cards in hand. I don't know if it's possible for me to grab anything more here. No, it's not. So let's swing for how much damage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 17, 18. 25, so it's 500 damage for the last 2 prizes. Yeah, that's the Regidrago matchup. Just don't get cucked and go second, preferably, because you can actually definitely nab a KO going second on turn 1, 100%. Always want to go second with this deck, ideally, just because of your turn 1 attack potential. This is not that hard to attack turn 1. All you need is like Mew Metal inactive, Dimension Valley, a Stadium, and a Berserker on the bench. And then you can already attack. The question is for how much, but that's dependent on the rest of your hand. So yeah. Right, there's an ad break. That's actually a very well-timed ad break. I'm not going to complain about that one whatsoever. I'll abuse this to shuffle my deck very thoroughly and get a sip of water. Maybe a little more than sippy, to be honest. For the YouTube people who are watching, by the way, were wondering, the ad break is only on the Twitch side because I am Twitch affiliated. It's the unfortunate truth, but I'm running minimum ads to disable pre-rolls, which is 3 minutes per hour. In my opinion, not that much, but I mean, technically, you can't really run less ads unless you want to run pre-rolls, which are just objectively ass. I think if you like pre-rolls over in-stream ads, you're kind of weird. It's definitely a weird hill to die on, I would say. It absolutely kills discoverability. But on YouTube, there's no such thing. Like, there's just ads if I'm partnered, but I'm not partnered on YouTube, so hey. But you can help me make me part by subscribing to the channel and liking the stream and commenting, all that stuff. Hyping the stream up, that's also possible. I think these days that's like a new feature, the hype thing. I'm not entirely sure how that works yet, but it seems pretty cool. Anyway, let's take a sip of water. You guys should also definitely sippy for water. That was half my water bottle, but that was a good sip. I can keep shuffling for like 1 more minute. I wonder, people, by the way, do you prefer these in-person webcam playmat testing things over TCG Live? I would presume so, right? Because TCG Live is just kind of doo-doo, because it doesn't have full expanded. Right. Let's roll the dice. That was off camera, unfortunately. Let's roll. Tails! So that means we're going second this game. Still against Drago, maybe against Lugia, it doesn't really matter. The HP thresholds are the same in that matchup. Although for Lugia, we want to preserve our Field Blowers a little bit better. Going second, opening Mew is actually like ideal. So I'll definitely take that. There we go. Flip it over and draw that card for turn. Ooh, Metal Energy. Hell yeah. You know what's also really fucking hype? That I got Roxie and 2 Exeggcutes in my opening hands. Ideally I had Roxie and Battle Compressor here, but I am not gonna complain about Roxie double Exeggcute in opener to draw 6, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Recover double Exeggcute with Propagation. Ultra Ball. Oh yeah, now I can price check, so let's flip these over. Oh shit, there's a Perrserker and Heavy Ball in the prizes. And so is my computer search. My pewter search. That's cringe. Okay. Shuffle. Also, one of my quick balls is prized and one of my Night Stretchers. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Discard Ultra Ball. Let's add the Exeggcutes back to hand. Bench Perrserker. Attach Metal Energy. Put the Dimension Valley in play. How much damage is this? Let's see, this is 9 cards, so it's 180 damage. That's not really enough, is it? So it's better to not commit here. Or not. Is it better to not commit the stadium or the energy? Say the better to not commit the energy here, so let's play Dimension Valley, bench the other Mew and go for Encounter. Grab a Fezandipiti EX, and this will be our attack for turn. Because 180 doesn't really KO anything other than like Squawk inactive or Oricorio or Didane. But those things are rarely kept inactive, I'm gonna be honest. It kills Crobat, I guess. Also not a thing that's commonly left inactive. A 2-prizer is what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is added to hand. Let's say they just KO active. Then I will push my other Mew. Draw cards. Oh my god, I drew another Metal Energy. It's cringe. It's also really cringe that I have 3 Metal Energy here in hand. I need to hold this Float Stone now. Hold on. Let me organize my hand so I can make a better decision. Okay, let's grab 4 Seal Stone. I think to do an efficient Mind's Eye here, I have to use my V-Star power to search my deck. Actually, hold on. I'm still committing to the V-Star power, but I want to flip the script first. Okay, there's Squawk, I guess. Doesn't really change my plan of grabbing a Battle Compressor to then discard Grant. There we go. Shit. Yeah, okay, we're still good. We're still good! Let's go. Okay, so the 3 Grants are discarded. And now what we can do is take Grant back, double propagate, take Grant back, double propagate, take Grant back, double propagate. Let's move these cards to the back of hand because they're not useful whatsoever. Did I play Supporter for turn yet? I have not. So what I can do is use... Did I do Supporter yet? No. No, I went for Flip and then for Sealstone. So let's play Psychic's Third Eye to reveal their hand and to discard these 6 cards. I think I want to discard the Squawk as well. Dig a little deeper. Maybe 1 Metal Energy as well. This is how many cards discarded? 8. So we draw 8 cards off the Psychic's Third Eye. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what I can do is I can Quick Ball Grant, grab. I'm gonna grab an Exeggcute. Where are all my Mews? Are they in my hand already? Maybe they are. Let's Quick Ball Grant away for an Exeggcute. Propagates, Exeggcutes back to hand, just like this one. So I can Ultra Ball them. Because there's an Oricorio still in my deck. That's like the only Pokemon left there, so no need to do anything else here. Discard that, bring these 2 back with Propagation. Discard these 2 to get Grant back to hand. Propagate. Where are my other cards that I want to add back to my hand? Yep, they're here. So what I can do is Propagation, Grant's effect. Propagation, Grant's effect. Propagation, Grant's effect. Propagation. So our hand is now loaded once more. Or I would say loaded even more. Bench Oricorio, use Dance Tribute to draw 3. Do want backup Mew here, just in case. This one was attached this turn. And there's so many cards in my hand. How much does it do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13, 17, 8. 20. 400 damage. Surely that's enough for a 2-prizer. What do I get from my prizes? Psychic Third Eye and Berserker. I think ideally what I probably want to do is Gust KO Berserker. In that case, I'll just push Oricorio. Draw in case I want to use Guzma this turn. Definitely do Berserker. Satch Float Stone. Do I even have Guzma in hand? Or available? I don't think so. I think both my Guzmas are still in deck. Yeah. That is indeed true. Okay. But what I can do is I can use Psychic's Third Eye to discard Quick Ball, VS Seeker, Quad Exeggcute, Quad Grant, draw 12 cards. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's Battle Compressor. Check the rest of deck. Discard Battle Compressor and VS Seeker. Actually, no, let's not discard VS Seeker. Let's discard Float Stone. Okay. Retreat Oricorio. And swing for way too much damage into another two-prizer. Dude, my comp search is still there? A little sus, bro. Forgot to attach this metal. That's whatever. So, without these two, it's like, how much damage? It's 5, 10, 15, 18, so it's 360. That's a lot. This is most likely Gust KO'd once more. So I'm pushing Mew for sure. Raw. I do have a Night Stretcher, right? Yeah. Night Stretcher Berserker to bench. Dance of Tributes for the last cards. Are there any cards in this card that I can still get back? I forgot to get back the Grants and Exeggcutes, by the way. I could have done 80 more damage. The fact that I still killed without that is fucking crazy. So now we do the same we did last turn, but plus 8 plus 2 minus 1, so it's plus 9 times 2, which is 540 damage. Yeah. G fucking G. This was down to two prizers knocked out. Yeah, this deck is really good, actually, surprisingly. It seems that if you can just swing with two prizers, or swing at two prizers with one prizers, it's pretty good. They'll have to Gust KO. And the thing is, if they go for a Gust KO, they can't Hand Disrupt you, so I think Hand Disruption would kill this deck more than Gust KOs, but still. I did manipulate in such a way that I got specifically Field Blower plus VS Seeker there. So what would the VS Seeker have done there? I mean, if they don't grab a KO, I mean, they have to grab a KO. Still go for plus 6. And if I don't get like Roxie that way, then I can still VS Seeker for Roxie or Psychic's Eye. Yeah, it's a pretty good deck, in my opinion. Alright. 3, 2, 2. I forgot to flip for initiative, but let's say I'm going second. Let's see, 6 prizes. Opponent at 6. Draw for turn. I want to fix this real quick. Yeah. Our proxies are always ugly, but it's better than double Battle Compressor is not bad at all, by the way, an opener. I have 1 Exeggcute in this card, or in prizes, unfortunately. Battle Compressor there is fine, so is the Float Stone. I do have Night Stretcher in hand, so I think I want to discard Squawk as one of the cards here. I think it's 3 Exeggcute, 2 Grant, And then Squawkabilly. Squawkabilly? Oh, it's here. Actually, I want another Grant there, not another Exeggcute. Yeah. Because Grant is not searchable. Grant is not searchable off of Quick Ball or Ultra Ball, and Exeggcute is. So for deck fitting purposes, this is better. It's better to just have 2 Exeggcutes in discards, and then more Grants if you have this luxury position of being able to get more than 3 things in discards. Alright, so let's say that these 3 were first and these 3 were from second. Let's Night Stretcher for Squawkabilly. I have Ultra Ball. Let's Satch Metal here. Oh, actually, it would have been better to not discard this Grant here, but yeah, I'm still going to swap this, by the way. It would have been better to grab Roxie here. For discards, not Grants. My bad. I didn't see the VS Seeker in my hand, that's my bad. I want to rectify that, because this is the optimal play you can go for. This is the optimal play you can go for. So you can Night Stretcher for Squawk. You can VS Seeker for Roxie. You can use Double Propagation. And then Roxie those away. Draw 6 cards. And then Double Propagate. I just get Perrserker, which is really nice. Quick Ball Exeggcute for, say, another Mew. Whoopsie. Propagate the Exeggcute. Ultra Ball to Exeggcute. Let's get the Oricorio. Now we shuffle. This is a really good turn 1 going first. Unfortunately, I don't think I've seen Dimension Valley yet, which is fine. I still have a Squawk and Seize, which I maybe should have ripped earlier. No, this is... I'm doing it. I think I'm sequencing correctly. It doesn't matter if this Exeggcutes are in discard pile now or not. It just sucks I have to discard these. But it's okay. Let's Squawk and Seize. That was a hand of 5 anyway. Let's draw 6. I do draw the Dimension Valley, which is very nice. I also get the Metal Saucer, which is not bad. I actually don't want to rip the Metal Saucer just yet, in case I need it for an emergency. I have another Ultra Ball available, but the question is, do I want to rip it? I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. Can I grab another Mew? I think I do. Shuffle deck. I'm not gonna bench this Mew yet, I think. So I also want the damage to be nice. This is also why I'm holding on to Metal Saucer, by the way. Let's propagate 1 and Quick Ball it away. There was another Pokemon in here. I didn't see the Quick Ball in my hands. Yeah, let's just get another Galarian Perrserker V. Sucks that there's 3 Pokemon in my prizes, but it is what it is. And I didn't find Heavy Ball here. Maybe I should run 2, but 1 is probably fine. With the amount of basics that I run, of everything, it's probably fine. Okay, so let's use propagation and propagation. And then Grant's effect, double propagate. Grant's effect, double propagate. Grant's effect, double propagate. Yeah. Which means that we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in hands. Swing for 2 hundo. Which is like... Is that a 2-prizer? Probably not. But if it's a Crobat or something, it is. I'm just gonna pretend that it is. Cool. I got Battle Compressor Exeggcute, the 2 most useless cards for my prizes. Okay. Let's presume they knock out my Oricorio. That would be like devastating for me. Just KO this. But they go down to 4. What I'll do is I'll push Mew again and draw. I don't have a Night Stretcher in hand. I think there is one in discard already. Yeah. I need to find Night Stretcher or Hisuian Heavy Ball here. Get a good play. Let's first check with Battle Compressor what we want to discard. Definitely Grant Exeggcute, that feels really good. I'm down to discard a Dimension Valley as well. Maybe it would have been better to discard a Metal Energy. I digress. This deck has a lot of shuffling to do, not gonna lie. There's a Metal Energy in discard, right? Yep, there is. Okay. So what I can do is I can use Psychic's Third Eye, discard Exeggcute. Exeggcute, Grant. I think I'll discard Roxie as well. Then draw 7 cards. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice, we found Heavy Ball. It's actually pretty big. Didn't find Night Stretcher, unfortunately. I can Heavy Ball for the Fezandipiti, bench the Fezandipiti. Battle Compressor away, Float Stone, Yes Seeker, another Dimension Valley. At this point we're planning to win the game next turn, so we only need 1 more Dimension Valley, technically speaking. Then we use Flip the Script to draw 3. We do draw the Night Stretcher, which is really hype. So we can Night Stretcher for Oricorio-GX, bench that, Dance of Tribute, 1, 2, 3. I draw the Dimension Valley anyway. I'm a god gamer. I have Comp Search, I'm not sure if I want to use that, but I want to go all out, so I will. So let's go double propagation. And Computer Search. Oh, there's not very many cards in my deck. Oh boy. But this Computer Search allows me to play it safe a little bit, so that I either have to Gus KO this, or they have to do something else. But then I have the 4 Sealstone Axes. So let's go for propagation. Grand Loops. Get the extra 8 cards to our hands. There we go. How much damage from Mew is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 cards. So 420 damage. Epic. We're having 2 random prizes. Alright. Got these 2! Yay! So, yeah. What they need to do here in order to win is they probably need to Iono me. Let's say they successfully Iono me. Right now. 2. I want to see if I can recover this. So they successfully Iono me to 2. Damn. I should have definitely done some finning on this part. And then they grab... Well, they can't gust KO me, so let's say they grab the active KO with Mew. I definitely need supporter for draw support. So let's push Mew. They're at 3 prizes. I'm confident I can get something here. Fetch metal. So I burned my comp search, but I have V-Star Power. I have some battle compressors in the deck still. I'm gonna take a peek. I don't think so. Unfortunately. I haven't seen my deck order fully, so let's just assume that I... Actually, I can quick ball away my Metal Energy. What am I tripping about? Quick ball my Metal Energy for... What Pokemon do I even want here? Exeggcute? Probably Mew, in case for backup stuff. Probably another Mew. Pin that out. Let's go for a Dance of Tribute. 1, 2, 3. And a flip the script for 1, 2, 3. So I have VS Seeker. VS Seeker can get me either Roxie or Psychic Sphere. Which is better here? I think Roxie draws me more here, so let's grab Roxie off the VS Seeker. And then play Roxie, discarding Exeggcute and Perrserker for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can pull Exeggcute back with Propagation, whatever you want to call it. I only want Exeggcute. I can quick ball away Grant. Grab another Exeggcute from deck. Yeah, you can still get to a pretty decent hand size with this. It's crazy. And then use Grant's effect to discard the Exeggcutes. And get it back. Then get my Exeggcutes back. Is there anything else that I can cover here potentially? Let's see, how much Metal Energy is in my discard? 1, 2, 3, I think. Yeah. 1 in prizes, 1 there, so there's 1 in deck. Still haven't used my V-Star Power, by the way. There's definitely no Field Blower. Or Field Blowers, Battle Compressor. So I'll bench Mew. How much damage does this do without benching Mew? 5, 200. So without it, let's say I don't KO here. It's a 2-shot. I've been greedy with my V-Star Power, so let's say they like Gust KO Fez. They're down to 1. Pushing Mew again, 100%. I don't have VS Seeker now. I do. Do I need a specific card from my deck? Not really, I just want to draw a lot. So let me just get Roxie. Actually, probably better to VS Seeker for Psychics. Actually, Psychic's Eye only allows me to go +3. Yeah, it's probably better to Psychic's Third Eye here. PS Seeker for that. And then play it. Discarding, this is the last turn of the game, so discarding Roxie, Exeggcute, Float Stone, Grant, Field Blower, Dimension Valley, Field Blower, Mew, and Guzma. 10. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, hold on. I want to keep these 2 cards in my hand, so I only draw 8 off of the Psychic's Third Eye. Oopsie, I didn't count my deck size, my bad. So I now have an empty deck. I can discard double Exeggcutes to get back the Grants. And then get the Exeggcutes back. Let's see what else I just discarded. Double Exeggcutes. That's it. So let's piece back to hand. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 260. Definitely swings for KO. After the 200 I already did to that active. Cool! So even against Hand Disruption, I mean, as you saw, you probably stole a turn, but I feel like Hand Disrupt and have like something in the 200s on your active. It might still die. It might very much still die. Actually, I think Psychic's Third Eye was a misplay there. I think Roxie would have got me more, because Roxie initially goes -3 for +6 and then +2. So it's +5. Whereas Psychic's Third Eye, they're discarded, I think, 2 Grants and 2 Exeggcutes. Which, I mean, like -9, but then +8, which is -1, but then +4 is +3. Yeah, so Roxie would have given me more cards in hand there, which is weird to think about. So Psychic's Third Eye is only like actually good for me. I either A, have to play it, or B, if I need to see the bottom of my deck, or C, if it's actually better than Roxie, which it's not going to be most of the time. I would need to have exactly 6 to make it, like 6 of Exeggcutes and Grant in hand to make it viable. And more than that to make it better than Roxie, but 6 to make it an equal card advantage thing compared to Roxie. Because you're discarding more cards from your hand, but you're probably also drawing more for that. Which is why there's 4 copies of Roxie and 2 of Psychic's Third Eye and not other way around. Of course. Alright, let's roll the die one more time. Heads. Let's do a game going first. Let's draw an opening 7. There we go. Going second is probably fine, or sorry, going first is probably fine to open Mew. It's not ideal. I mean, is there an ideal turn 1 going second opener? Not really. Everything is a little cringe, at the very least. Double Dimension Valley. Wow. Let's Battle Compressor first, so we can price check. Bro, why do I keep pricing double Guzma? That's not fun. Let's do I want to discard double Exeggcute Grants? Feels like a basic play. Maybe that's what I have to do. Yeah, I think I would have to discard double execute Grant here. Oh, this is the fancy Grant. There we go. There we go. Shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. Go. Get the two executes to hands. Discard them with Grant's effect to put Grant in hands. And then double propagates. Do I want all of this in hand right now, by the way? That's something I should be wondering. I'm turn 1 going first, so... Bench another Mew. And pass. Let's say they got something going on and KO Mew. Going to 5. I didn't have an energy, right? No, I didn't. Could have Dimension Valleyed, honestly, for a Pokemon. That was probably better to Dimension Valley for a Pokemon. Not Squawk though. Let's get like Fez from that. I think that's worth. I know I'm doing a little bit of retroactive stuff, but I'm sorry about that. This is better. Because if we assume that Dimension Valley's like bumped, now we draw a card for turn and still play the Dimension Valley. And then Perrserker down, Fez down, draw tree. Quick Ball executes. For what? For Mew? I think for Mew. Yeah. I'll have to. No shuffling actually. Propagation. There's one more propagation I can hear. And then Ultra Ball. For what? For another Mew? Probably. It's... There we go. Mew to hand, Ultra Ball to discards. 2 executes to discards. Bench a Mew. I haven't used Supporter yet, so I can double propagation here and then Roxie. Draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least I've got a Metal Energy. Very happy with that. And I'll Battle Compressor for some other stuff. Wow, all my Metal Energy were pumped. Is it double Grant execute? Probably. Yeah. There we go. Shuffle, shuffle. Okay. These were all discarded. And then what we can do is propagate, 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 propagate. Do we need all these propagations? Let's see, let's count. I have 7 in hand. This is Drago. I want 11 in hands, right? Yeah. So the best thing I can do is propagate twice. Get Grant back with this. Propagate twice. And then get Grant back with this. And propagate twice. So now I have 11 hits. Yeah. Swing for knockout. 2 prizes. Dang it! Still double Guzma and Ori in there. But I got my other Grant from prizes. But if I get like Ionoed here, I'm a little sad. Do we pretend that we get Ionoed here? Why not? I think that's a relevant thing that can happen. Matchup. Holy shit, 3 Metal Energy, are you kidding me? And then let's say active gets knocked. Go to 4. Push Mew. Draw. Holy shit, bro. What is his hand? At least what we can do now is double propagate and double quick ball for Mew and Exeggcute. Yeah. For Mew and Exeggcute, probably. Actually, let's get Lillie's Clefairy. The Mew. I have. So if I find Roxie, I'm more than happy. Don't need another Exeggcute for that to have fun. Boom. Let's go for a flip script. 1, 2, 3. Double Exeggcute. Ultra Ball. Do we now grab Exeggcute? I don't want to grab Squawk from deck. We grab other Perrserker. Go. Just a Perrserker. I think we do bench it. Satch for turn here. Want to double propagate into Roxie for 6, 2, 3, 4, 6. Then I can computer search for A cards. Discards, Night Stretcher. Actually, no. One discard. Yeah. You guys probably know why I want that card. Because I want the Ori from the discard for prizes. Go. Heavy Ball. Free from prizes. Play Ori. Dance of Tributes. 1, 2, 3. And I draw into the Night Stretcher anyway. I'm simply the GOAT. How many cards is this? 5. 5. 11. So I can't permit to bench this. Then still do my shenanigans because I'm now at 10. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably better to do exactly this to hand. So now we're at 14. Let's recount. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, yeah, 14. Swing for KO. Let's take these two. Nice, I got one of my Guzma BUS. Anti-Battle Compressor, very big. Alright, big turn for me. They have to do something. Let's say they go down to 1 prize by gusting this and then KOing both. That's very reasonable for them to do. I'll Push Mew and draw. Play attach a Metal Energy. If they even bump Stadium, I'll just replay it. Flip the script for 1, 2, 3. Night Stretcher for Rio. Bench Oricorio. I have another Night. Do I need it? Not really. Let's go all out. Battle Compressor. Discard the last Exeggcute from deck. And that's it. Go. And that's a hand with Propagates. Now we have extra stuff in our hands. 6. I can call back more. This Exeggcute. There's another Grant, right? No, there is. Is there another Grant in deck that I didn't see with Compressor, or am I just blind here? 1, 2, 3 Grants. Oh yeah, there is a 4th Grant in my hands. So now I can go for Psychic's Third Eye. To discard Quad Exeggcute, Quad Grant to draw 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And technically all 8 of these cards can go back to my hand thanks to the combo. Very nice, very glad, very thank you. And then I can still use Dance of Tribute for 1, 2, 3. Can I draw even more? Don't think so. Let's overkill the shit out of this. Regidrago V-Star inactive. Play Fairy Zone. Choose Treasure Rush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 times 20 times 2 is 1080 damage on Regidrago V-Star inactive. You think that kills it? I'm having my doubts. Not entirely sure. Dude, this deck is amazing for a webcam match because people think you're cheating, but it's so fun. But now, once again, all the Exeggcutes and all the things are clumped up. Ooh, it's almost time for Abric, so I'll cue it right away. Run ad. It's a little better on everyone else. Which side? The unfortunate thing is, if my opponent has a Toadscruel in play, you know, a Slime Mold Colony Toadscruel, that prevents cards from entering a player's hand from discard, I am cooked. This deck is severely cooked. That happens. There's no canceling clone in this deck. There's no way to like do a... I mean, we can do like a quick gust up and then try and KO it, but that's probably not that hard, but that, once again, it's a turn where we have to KO a single prizer. It's less than ideal. So, yeah. It's interesting that there's a card like that that just hard counters everything I have here. To be fair, Wobbuffet also is kind of a counter. And so is Klefki. So is... well, technically Fluttermane as well. Fluttermane is just so goddamn annoying. You can't swing with Mew, you have to swing with Berserker that way. Means if you want to charge it up in one turn, you have to use the Metal Saucer combo. It's just so ass. Like there are definitely counters to this deck. Like I said, Wobbuffet's a counter, Klefki's a counter, Fluttermane is a counter, Toad Scroll's a counter. Those are like the 4 counters. Heavy Hand Disruption is also a counter, technically. And Heavy Gusting is a counter, but decks usually don't really rely on Heavy Gusting and stalling. Not specifically, at least. Right, I'd be shuffling my deck, but it's still 40 more seconds. I think I'm gonna go for a quick pee break. Be right back. Alright, I'm back in my chair. I think I'm ready for like 1 or 2 more games depending on how the first one's gonna look. So, I did shuffle. Let's roll die. It's heads. So once again, going first, are you kidding me? 1 more game's going second. You know what, fuck it. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a game going second and we're gonna grab a big KO turn 1. Or at least I hope. Maybe this deck needs more Night Stretcher. I think that's something this deck does need. Night Stretcher. I did say turn 1 going second. So I'm gonna need to find Float Stone regardless. It doesn't matter if we start that or not. Actually, it does matter. Because I can still... Do I have Metal Saucer in hand? I don't, but... do this. Yes, I do find Metal Saucer. Turn 1 going second. Okay, I have Psychic Spirit Eye, which is not bad. Battle Compressor first is a must. I have VS Seeker in hand. That's something to remember. So I'm definitely discarding a Roxie, and an Exeggcute, and a Grant, I think. I think this is what happens here. Roxie, Exeggcute, Grant has to go here. No other way for me to do this, I think. What does this GX attack even do? I don't think I've ever read it. Let me take a look. Strafe GX. Switches Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. That's ass. Okay, I can understand why no one's ever... Okay. VS Seeker for Roxie. Let's use Propagation. Get this back into our hand. Let's use Grant's effect to put that into our hands, discarding 2, and let's double propagate. Let's Ultra Ball away. Oh, I've not sequenced this correctly. Have I? No, I have to, because if I have VS Seeker in hand, I have to. Yeah. No, I have to do it like this. It sucks, but I have to. Let's find Squawk. Yep, there we go. Fortunately, have to sequence it like this. I'm also very confident I can hit a VS Seeker off of the next 6, but I cannot confidently say that. I need too many pieces. I cannot confidently say that. Squawk. Maybe it's a Psychic Spirit Eye angle, probably not. Let's play Dimension Valley. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do double propagation. And play Roxie to draw 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. These are not great cards to draw. This kinda sucks. Guess what we could do is bench Mew, bench Fez, and then Squawk. Hope for the best. This is not the best. Holy shit. This is hot doo-doo. What the heck? Hot doo-doo. Why? Can't even get an attack off. I'm literally stuck with Oricorio inactive going second. This is cringe. Just gonna have to pass. Let Oricorio die here. Holy shit. Push Mew. Draw. Use propagation. And Roxie. 6. Whoa, we found a Metal Energy, guys. Let's attach that here. let's double propagation. And then computer search. What do I want to get off computer search? Probably Battle Compressor, so I can discard Exeggcute, Metal Energy, Grant. Pull it all up nicely. I want to wait on the Metal Saucer, to be honest. It's propagation. And quick ball. Grab Mew. And let's propagation again. Grab the other Perrserker. There we go. Fuck. There we go. I kind of want to chill for now, if possible. So we need exactly 4. Let's flip the scripts. 1, 2, whoops, 3. Hold this. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So double propagates is enough. It's probably best to do double propagates, then grant, then single propagates. So this gets me to exactly 14. And gives me a slew of different options in here, I think. Just, yeah, it's 1 grant, 3 execute. Ooh, if that's the case, then I probably just want to do the double propagate. This way there's 2 grant, 2 execute in there. And swing for KO on Regidrago. Nice. Got quick ball Roxie. Let's say they gust up Fez and KO Fez. That would be really fucking annoying, but they can definitely do that. Push this, draw. Quick ball. There. Ball target, there is. I just need to draw one of my Night Stretchers. That's the thing here. But also, I didn't get hand disrupted, so I can technically still go for a big juicy attack here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I do want to Roxie just to dig through my deck. Is that optimal? Let's see, there's 1, 2 execute here. There's 1 grant in my hand. How much is in my discard? 1 execute, 1 grant, so we're 5. 6, 7. It's better to go for a psychic. Better to go for a Psychic Sphere Die. I don't have in my hand. I do have in my hand. I was about to play the VS Seeker, but I do have it in my hand. I don't need VS Seeker anymore, so I'll also ditch that. So this discards 8. I can also discard a Roxie probably. I can actually, it's probably better to discard this because I don't need that. Discard immediately. Draws 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw 1 Night Stretcher. But I can just swing for KO, so I will do that. Actually, if I want to swing for KO, I can probably set it up a little bit better. As in, like, attach this here. That's it, yeah. What are my... Grant and Metal. That's slightly annoying, but that's okay. Let's say I get Iono'd. Iono'd and active KO'd. Bro has to holy draw? Yeah. So worst case scenario, I have a 20 card hand here and I get Iono'd to 2. Let's see if I can still draw my way out of this. Wait, I did a Night Stretcher for the... Oh, wait. Yeah. No, that's something I should have done this turn. Night Stretcher for that Fez. And bench the Fez. Even though I'm not gonna wasn't gonna use it. Yeah. That's something I should have done last turn. Sorry, my bad. So anyway. Let's assume I get Iono to 2 or N to 2. Let's assume Iono because that's worse for me, I think. So I have exactly 2 cards in hand, which are... Okay, actually it's not that bad. And then I get active KO because they can't Iono plus actually Gus KO. So let's assume we don't need a Gus KO to win. We just need to have enough to swing for like 280 or 300 or so. Now take backsies. This is why, listen, this is why I'm doing webcam matches. So we can do take backsies to see what the optimal play is. Anyway, let me draw for turn. Go for the Forest Seal Stone for sure. Also gonna go for the Flip the Script for sure. 1, 2. Also gonna go for Night Stretcher. To get back. Oricorio-GX. Bench Oricorio-GX. I do have a Battle Compressor, which so I'm gonna pop that first. Oh yeah, wait. All my Exeggcute and Grant were still in discard because I didn't need them. It's actually really nice. This Battle Compressor is not necessary. Why don't you just Propagation and then Roxie and then Propagation twice again? Or 4 times. I can do a lot, yeah, but I wanted to Battle Compressor first to thin out the deck. Some cards I don't need, like Dimension Valley is already in play, Metal Saucer is not needed for this last turn KO. There's a lot of cards in here that are like not needed. So it can technically still do something. I'll choose Float Stone here. But it's technically better to hit Versus Seeker for Psychic Third Eye. It's more or less what I'm trying to do here. I want to hit it without the Forest Seal Stone, so... It's Dance of Tributes. Yeah, okay, I drew all useless shit. Let's... Forest Seal Stone, or... Oh, I don't have a Versus Seeker, shit. Oh, that's... kind of bad. I was hoping I could do like Psychic Third Eye, but I don't have Versus Seeker. Also, I just realized I could probably draw... No, without Psychic Third Eye, I could not draw my whole deck. Because with Roxie, for example, if I grab Roxie, I already have Roxie in hand, I think. I could draw 6. Still 3 here. Do I have Roxie in hand? I do have Roxie in hand, so what I can do is I can just discard these 3 cards. Doesn't really matter. Discard those 3 cards if I grab the Battle Compressor, that is. Sorry. Because we're going to be reaching the max hand size anyway here. That is possible for this specific turn. It's more or less what I mean. Yeah, so that means we can now go for a double propagation. And we can play Roxie, discard 2 Exeggcute, so draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my whole deck. And now comes the fun part. What I can do now, I'll make space. What I can do now is very fun. Your headset died, what you say? Propagation 4. Yeah, we're gonna do a fun thing. We're gonna propagate 2 times, 4 times. But what we can also do, if I can find the cards, this is what the grants are for. Where's the 4th grant? Oh, it's in prizes, okay. What we can do is discard 2 cards to get a grant back to hands, and then propagate those 2, and then discard 2 hands to get a grant back to hands, and then propagate those 2, and then discard 2 hands to get a grant back in our hand, and then propagate those 2. Yes! Yes, we can do that. Even though it says once during your turn, your hand is private information and your discard pile is public information. So they're technically different. So how much damage would we do now here with Treasure Rush? Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 360 damage. And if their opponent is a dragon type, we can bench this. So we do 340 times 2, which is 680, which is... These are like absurd numbers. These are bajonkers numbers. Just saying. Is there a full art Berserker V? I am not sure. I'm unsure. I'm not sure if there's a Galarian Perrserker V full art or not. I don't think so, actually. But I don't know for certain. Right, let's try one more game as a going second. See how that goes. See if we can actually get like a big turn 1 swing on this game. Because that seems to be the hardest thing to do. Going first somehow seems better with this deck. Because we barely cannot get a great 2-prize swing on turn 1 going second. Like we can one-shot like Crobats or the Denays in active. But not like other basic Vs or whatever. How do you spell Berserker? It's like that, but with double. The first R is double, so it's P-E-R-R-S-E-R-K-A-R. K-E-R, sorry. What the fuck is this hand? Double Mew, double Berserker, Clefairy, Psychic Sverda, and Night Stretcher. What the frickety frick is this hand? That's a very cursed hand. Let's set prizes. Let's see how this goes. Flip, draw. Yeah, this is really bad. Let's bench Berserker. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to Psychic Sverda some nasty cards away. Probably all 5 of these, let's be honest. Yeah, I need to see 5 new cards here. Unfortunately. Yeah, Berserker has a trainer gallery from LOR. Oh, let's go. Oh yeah. It's also really nice, being able to quick ball away and execute. I also saw Battle Compressor in hand, so that's nice. There's one... Ah, Computer Search is in the prizes. That sucks. So I think I need to get Squawk here from the quick ball. Is there any other way I can play this hand? No. Squawk from the quick ball here. Fetch Metal Energy. Battle Compressor. I did play a supporter for turn. I don't have Night Stretcher in my hand anymore. How much do I have of everything in discard? Just 1 Exeggcute, nothing else. So it's... I need to grab at least 1 Grant and 1 Exeggcute. What else do I nab here? Discard probably another Exeggcute. Probably. You have that Computer Search too. Don't understand why it's banned and expanded. So it's banned and expanded because I don't think it's an A-spec. I think that's the reason why. It's because it's not an A-spec. I'm not entirely sure why, because I don't think like old Super Rod, even though it has weird text, is banned and expanded. To check. Yeah, I think it's just because it's not an A-spec. But I am using this for proxy anyway, because I have it and it's cool. To make a rule that any card that was not printed with the same rule box as an A-spec can be played, but only play one of them. Yeah, just a normal errata rule, but apparently there are normal errata rules, like with the Neo Genesis Super Rod that does something wholly different. But it's still allowed. But I think A-specs just are not allowed to be errata in that. But I agree, it's also stupid. Maybe we can just rip the Field Blower as well, depending on what they have on the field. But it's time to Squawker Seas. I didn't shuffle my deck, I think. Let's do that first. Shuffle the deck first. Let's see, and 6 fresh cards from the Squawk. Stretcher's good. It's better to hold now than to play it down. I did play a supporter this turn already, but what I can do is I can double propagation and then double quick ball to get Fez out of the deck and Oricorio. There we go. You're considering splashing some of your paycheck on a real computer search A-spec, just one in case there are expanded locals near you, or you go UIC next year. I'm also planning on potentially going to UIC in February 2026. So if you want to, we can play actual expanded there. If you want to. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going, but I'm like 90% sure. Add these to hands. Quick balls go to discards. These also go to discard. Yo, IRL collab. Dude, I don't think I want to make content when I'm there specifically. And I think that's mainly for the reason that I want to like give my full attention to the actual event. But like if someone is there that's down to film us, then I'm like, okay, sure. But if I have to like think about filming myself, like do all the things myself, then no. But it's something. Your cousin are planning to go? Let's go. Hell yeah. So a Battle Compressor here. It's probably fine to play. Let me just count real quick, because I have 6 in hand here. Then there's this makes 8, this makes 9, this makes 10. 10, that means I do 200. I ideally want to hit 220, like just in case of Regidrago. But there's one Exeggcute price, of course. But I can go ahead and discard 2 Grant off this. Oh, I don't have Dimension Valley in play. Shit, I can't even attack. Oh, that's really bad. Don't even have Dimension Valley. Fuck. Discard Guzma. I think I discard nothing, actually. Dang. Dude, I have everything except for the Dimension Valley. That's so cringe. I think that's also partially because Computer Search is priced, because I usually hit into either Computer Search or Forest Sealstone by this point. So, it's unfortunate. I did the best spinning I could, I think. But this is why going first is not ideal. But what we can do is... I think the best course of action is then to Night Stretcher for Mew. And then I don't think there's any Metal Energy discard. There's not. So the question now becomes, do I use Feeling Fine to draw 3 cards, or do I use Encounter to search my deck for a Pokemon? Are there any Pokemon in my deck even? There's like 2 Mews, and I think that's it. I think those are the only Pokemon in my deck, actually. 2 Mews, so I think it's better to use Feeling Fine from Memories of Dawn to draw 3 as my attack. And I draw into 2 Versus Seekers and a Metal Energy. Great. You gotta go. See you around, pal. Yeah, see you around, bro. Thank you for hanging out. Let's assume the worst in the sense that they Gust KO Perrserker. Go down to 4. I think I'm down 2 stretchers actually. Yeah, that makes the game unplayable. So let's do it like this. I'm not scamming, I swear. Such metal here. Actually, metal attachment might not be necessary. This is necessary though. Boom, boom. Flip. 1, 3. Now there's Dimension Valley. Dance. 1, 2, 3. Let's go for double propagation into Ultra Ball for Mew. There we go. Alright. Not really much else that I want to do, I think, here. I mean... Oh wait, I have to Roxie, kind of. Hold on, let's see. What's my discard pile looking like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, because they're both one of each are fucked. So we go for double prop and then Roxie, so we don't have to burn via Seekers. So draw 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can go double prop Ultra Ball. Actually, no, let's not Ultra Ball. Because there's no Pokemon in deck. What we can do is Heavy Ball Exeggcute to our hands. How many cards do we have in hand now? 5, 10, 15, 16. Okay, that's plenty. Seems plenty. Swing for KO. Fuck yourself, Rich Drago. Okay, got Heavy Ball and Computer Search. One of them is useless, one of them is not. Just assume that they KO active. Hopefully, question mark. Push this. Raw. Satch Metal. Dance of Tribe. Flip the script. 4 Steel Stone, swing for KO. It's better to not play a supporter here. Don't want to deck myself out. Grant is still prized! Ugh. Oh wait, did I forget to bench the Mew? Yeah, I forgot to bench. Let's say Oricorio gets Gust KO'd. Then I definitely push that. Draw. Flip the script. Now we can do the whole song and dance here. Get these 2 back. Get these 4 back. How many cards do we have in hand now? Was the 4 still so necessary? The answer is no, so let's count that as well. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34, which means it's 680 damage. I unfortunately can't recover Clefairy. I forgot to flip this to 1 as well, but whatever. Alright, I think that's probably where I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Let me just shuffle this so I can actually use it later down the line. Essentially, and I will put the Berserker on top. That's why I'm not shuffling the Berserker with everything here. Alright, done with Clefairy. Done with Squawk here. I don't. Why were there three freaking Pokemon there? Alright. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I'll go ahead and look for someone to raid. Thanks for sticking around. I'll be back next Saturday with a new Commander game. Join the Discord so you can actually, like, suggest a commander to me. That'd be pretty fun. I haven't chosen a commander to build around for Saturday, so you'll probably have until like tomorrow or Thursday. Alright, let me roll back to my laptop. And let's also move my microphone a little closer. Anyway, Discord server link is right here. Let me just mute the music so I can go check on who has their asses live. If you're watching on YouTube, I will end the stream. But if you're watching on Twitch, I'll send you to another goated content creator. Just gotta look for one of them that's live right now. Let me take a quick and dirty look. Can I rate this person? I can. Hell to the yeah. Right, thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Till Saturday.